Maritato,
Here.
trustee Pojek,
Here.
and trustee Schroeder.
Trustee Schroeder is excused. I gotta read it. The governor of the state of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to the COVID-19 outbreak, restricting individuals to gatherings of 10 persons or less, and all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by the disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the January 21st, 2021 Village Board and Committee of the Whole meetings is not practical or prudent in the light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the village board participating in the January 21st, 2021 Village Board meeting, wherever their physical location, shall be verified and determined that they can hear one another and can hear all discussion and testimony during the meeting. So signed by me, Linda Jackson, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, January 21st, 2021. So everybody that's here can hear everything, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Would you all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we start with you, Trustee Schmidt?
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
As a reminder to residents, please do not shovel, snow blow, or plow any snow into village streets. This will help ensure our streets are clean and clear of any snow for safe driving. If you have any questions, please call the police department's non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. The Glendale Heights Police Department wants to hear from you. Please take a moment and fill out their online survey and let them know how they can better serve you. To access the survey, please visit www.glendaleheights.org or visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Glendale Heights Police. The safety of the Glendale Heights residents and community is the #1 priority. If you have any questions, please contact the Glendale Heights Police Department's non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Trustee Light.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights is collecting broken or unused holiday lights. Lights can be dropped off at Public Works Garage, located at 1635 Glen Ellen Road, on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lights accepted for recycling include all colors and lengths of mini lights, C7 lights, C9 lights, rope lights, LED lights, and extension cords. For more information on holiday light recycling, please call 630-260-6000. The Village of Glendale Heights is partnering with the Northern Illinois Food Bank for a food distribution event on Saturday, January 23rd, from 9 a.m. to noon at Camera Park. This will be the 9th food distribution event provided for thousands of families over the last several months affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. You do not need to be a resident of Glendale Heights in order to receive assistance, and no identification is required. We ask that you please wear a face covering and remain in your vehicle. Please drive slow, follow directions from the staff and volunteers upon arrival. We want to thank all of the supporting organizations for your help in making sure no family or individual goes hungry. For more information or to volunteer, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. Trustee Meritato.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Join the village of Glendale Heights in celebrating National Salute to Hospitalized Veterans Month by participating in the Valentine's for Veterans collection efforts. Annually, the village delivers beautifully written and decorated Valentines collected from the community to Illinois veteran homes and veterans hospitals. Drop off your Valentines at the Village Hall by Wednesday, February 3rd, to ensure a timely delivery for Valentine's Day. Please do not decorate your cards with glitter, include social media contact information, or include envelopes with the card. Should you have any questions, please call Nicole Lewis at 630-909-5327. The police department would like to remind residents of the parking regulations within the village during snowfalls. There is no parking allowed on village streets designated as a snow route for 24 hours after a snowfall of 1 inch or more. There is no parking allowed on any village street for 24 hours after a snowfall of 2 inches or more. And there is no parking allowed on any village street for 72 hours after a snowfall of 5 inches or more. So if you have any questions regarding winter parking restrictions, please contact Glendale Heights Police Department non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Trustee Pojek.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The next coffee with the mayor and the village board will be on Saturday, February 6th at the Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you're unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the mayor or the village board, please call the mayor's office anytime at 630-909-5303. Now I'll do Mary Schroeder's.
Thank you, Chester.
The Glendale Heights Police Department, along with numerous other police departments across the country, have been seen an uptick in people posting messages online and on social media instead of calling 911. These platforms are not monitored 24/7, and in times of an emergency, every second counts. Please remember that the Glendale Heights Police Department cannot take a crime report over the social media. In order to make a report, please contact a non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. If you need immediate assistance or have an emergency, please remember to always call 911 and don't rely on social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester. We now go to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anything from the public?
Nothing through the email system there.
Okay, then we will move on. You have the consent agenda before you. What is your pleasure? How come I can't see our people? Trustee Sullivan.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second,
Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business. So new business number 1 is a motion to waive first reading on new business items 2, 7 through 10, and 12 through 14. Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second,
To waive first reading, roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt. Trustee Schmidt,
yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
yes,
First reading is waived on new business items 2, 7 through 10, and 12 through 14. Number 2 is an ordinance extending temporary executive powers pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2021-08. Trustee Schmidt.
So moved,
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
yes,
and trustee Schmidt.
yes.
Ordinance 2021-08 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Jack's Pub and Grill located at 338 East Army Trail Road in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. That is first reading. Number 4 is an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Pronto's Restaurant located at 2260 Bloomingdale Road in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. That is also first reading. Number 5 is an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Bright Lights Theater Incorporated located at 35 through 51 East North Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. And that is first reading. Number 6, an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Kai's Restaurant located at 705 East North Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and that is first reading. Number 7 is an ordinance annexing certain territory to the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2021-09. Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
yes,
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
and trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-09 is approved. Number 8, an ordinance vacating the public right-of-way commonly described as Calvary Drive and approving a plat of roadway vacation, therefore. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2021-10. Trustee Schmidt.
So moved,
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
yes,
trustee Schmidt,
yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
and trustee Light.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-10 is approved. Number 9, an ordinance to rezone the property commonly known as 55 through 85 West Army Trail Road in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading has been waived, so this would be ordinance number 21-11. Trustee Sullivan,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
and trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-11 is approved. Number 10, an ordinance to approve a conditional use for a planned unit development for the property located at 55-85 West Army Trail Road, Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2021-12.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2021-12 is approved. Number 11 is a resolution to approve a final plat of re-subdivision entitled Final Plat of Subdivision Calvary Drive Subdivision in the village of Glendale Heights. This would be resolution number 2021-R-08. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
and trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-R-08 is approved. Number 12, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of the redevelopment agreement by and between ML Realty Partners and the Village of Glendale Heights, DuPage County, Illinois. First reading was waived. This would be ordinance number 2021-13. Trustee Light,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
and trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-13 is approved. Number 13, an ordinance to amend Article B entitled Licensing and Inspection of Multifamily Dwellings of Chapter 14 entitled Licensing and Inspection of Properties of Title 10 entitled Building Regulations of the Municipal Code of the Ordinances of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is from the January 7th, 2021 Committee of the Whole meeting. First reading has been waived, so this would be ordinance number 2021-14. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
and trustee Light.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-14 is approved. Number 14 is an ordinance to amend section 4-2-2 entitled License Fee Schedule based upon use of chapter 2 entitled License Fees of Title IV entitled Business and License Regulations of the Municipal Code of Ordinances of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading has been waived, so this would be ordinance number 2021-15. Trustee Sullivan.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
and trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-15 is approved. Number 15, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of the Graber Settlement Agreement and release. This would be Resolution 2021-R-09. Trustee Sullivan.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-R-09 is approved. We are now back to public discussion of agenda items. Has anybody sent anything in, Mike?
There is nothing that has arrived via email, and I do not see any raised virtual hands at this point.
Okay, then a motion to adjourn would be in order. Trustee Pojek.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Gotta do roll call vote again? Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned and committee of the whole, trustee Meritato.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Call the committee to the whole meeting, January 21st, 2021. Is any add-ons or deletions? Anybody? Okay, Mike, is anybody in,
Well, for public comment, there is nobody that is emailed, and I'm just gonna give it 1 second to see if anyone raises a virtual hand on the Zoom call. We do have a few members of the public that are there. And not seeing anything.
okay, we go to committee recommendations. There is none. Discussion regarding the presentation of body cameras. Doug?
Thank you, Trustee Meritato, Mayor, Board. Sincerely appreciate you letting me be here in person and presenting to people in person so I can get some feedback.
We appreciate it.
Nothing worse than talking to a Zoom meeting and not knowing who you're talking to. So, we are here to talk about body cameras and the Glendale Heights Police Department in cooperation with the village moving towards body cameras for our police officers. Deputy Chief Dare and Sergeant Pirtle are here in the room with me. They kind of headed the whole process of us going through our body cam process, which I'll explain through our PowerPoint. But in case you have questions that I can't answer, they're here to answer any questions that anybody might have about the body cams, just so we can have a thoughtful discussion about it and make sure everybody's on the same page before before you guys decide what you want to do with this. So, oh, I should have brought my computer up here. Huh? I can barely see it. Anyway, why we need body cameras now, right? As you all are probably aware, a couple weeks ago, House Bill 3653 was passed at the legislature. Governor Pritzker has not yet signed it. I assume he's going to sign it at some point here in the near future, but he's not yet signed it. But we're assuming this is going to be law soon. And I think this law really ups how soon we really need to get body cameras to defend police officers, the village, and the public. I'm just gonna, the part that's in bold is the parts of this bill that I've taken out that I think directly reflect the need for body cameras. One part of the bill requires police to provide a predicate offense for resisting arrest. We have to have a reason to find somebody, to arrest somebody for resisting. That's still the case today. I'm not really sure what the language is changing, but it's there. Prohibits chokeholds by police officers, imposes upon police the duty to intervene in the excessive use of force. We already have this in our policy, so it really doesn't affect us, except when it's on video and you really can't see good angles. And it's very easy to mistake something above the shoulders as a chokehold when it's really not a chokehold. And without video evidence, as we found out earlier or later, middle of 2020, it's hard to refute that unless we have our own video evidence. Expands downstate the officer misconduct database, which we need protections with the use of cameras to help us with. Most importantly, by 2025, every municipality is going to be required, our size, to have body cameras. As I get to the end of this, you'll see the pricing isn't cheap and it's only going up. And quite honestly, the sooner we get in, the cheaper it's going to be for us overall. Removes requirement of sworn affidavits for police complaints. What that means is currently, if somebody comes in to swear out a complaint against a police officer, they're signing a notarized form and they're swearing under oath to a notary that what they're accusing a law enforcement officer of doing is actually true. There's recourse when that's not true. Now that sworn affidavit has been taken away. And anybody can come in to make a complaint when this law is effective without any recourse to them. Allows for direct anonymous complaints to the Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board. The Law Enforcement Training Standards Board is going to be set up so that anybody can make anonymous complaints about anything to them about a police officer. Their duty is to investigate that, right? So when you have anonymous complaints being sent to a state agency, I think for the protection of the village and the protection of the officers and protection of the citizens, the taxpayers, it's important for us to have documentation of what our officers are doing every day. And I think it now is more important than ever. Expanded the list, gives the Law Enforcement Training Standards Board the discretionary authority to decertify an officer under certain circumstances, right? So the decertification process is built into this law that essentially says, absent, let's just take for instance, an officer is involved in the use of force and the department finds that it's been justified, and the state attorney's office finds that it's been justified, the outside agency investigating it finds it's been justified. The Training and Standards Board still could find something wrong with that and decertify the police officer. It is important for us to have our own copy of what they're reviewing and to have our own video of everything that our officers are doing every day so that we can protect not only the citizens but our officers from, unlawful, I shouldn't say unlawful, but claims that might be misleading. And I think there's no more important time for us to have that protection of video evidence as we move forward. Positive reasons for body cams. Transparency. I'm going to show you a video later of an incident that took place a couple weeks ago that is the perfect reason for having body cameras. But transparency to the public is important. Maybe one of the most important things. Increasing trust with the community and resident, reduce citizen complaints against police officers. When people know that they're being videotaped, they just act differently. And our interactions with residents and people in the public, when they know that everybody's being recorded, right? Because we assume we're always being recorded, right? The reverse isn't always true. And there's a noticeable behavior change when somebody's being recorded, right? Provide video evidence of police-citizen engagements, allows police departments to provide context of social media. You're seeing throughout the country social media videos of just bits and pieces of certain events involving police and citizens when it comes to use of force and confrontations. Once the law enforcement was able to show the entire context of those interactions, it paints a little bit different picture. And without that footage available to us, we're never able to show things in context. And that's important moving forward. Allows police departments to utilize social media to promote positive interactions between police and citizens, and we have hundreds of those throughout the year. We have hundreds of those positive interactions with us and citizens and kids and youth and different events. And it'd be great for us to be able to have video of that and be able to post that and show that and share that with the people that we have a positive influence on. So in September 2020, we started this body camera committee. Deputy Chief Dare led it. Sergeant Pirtle kind of ran the day-to-day operations and wrote the final report, which I'll provide to you guys for maybe next board meeting. And we had Matt Parsons, Gabby Nickel, Jorge Munoz, Dennis Achura, Rob Hawko, Gregor Kapusiak, Tasha Polides, Rigo Bernal, Jennifer Rosario, Justin Blondin. They were all volunteers to wearing body cams, right? And we only had that many volunteers because that's as many cameras as we had between the manufacturers. We would have had more, right? So you can see that there's a lot of interest from our officers wanting to volunteer to use the body cameras, right? October 2020 began the trial. We reached out to the real tried and true vendors in the industry right now, Axon, Body Worn, and WatchGuard. Axon and Body Worn were very receptive, great customer service, had items in our hands very, very quickly, sent their own installers out to put cameras in. They were both great companies to work with. WatchGuard, who as our current squad car camera vendor, wasn't able to fulfill meeting us with test equipment because they're being inundated and they have enough test equipment to go around. They actually didn't reach back out to us just until a couple weeks ago, right, Kelly? So we've kind of pushed them off. But they were both great to work with, Axon and Body Worn. They're the two biggest in the country today, which is why we went with them, tried and true. And they both have body cameras and squad car cameras, so everything works seamlessly together, and we're not piecemealing systems back and forth. This is what the Body Worn camera looks like. You can see it's a cell phone, and it's got a cell phone holder, and there's 3 snaps, and it snaps inside of either your outer vest carrier or inside your shirt. So it's secure and protected. Officers, upon their final review of everything, their come-together meeting, found that the Body Worn camera was the best for officer safety and camera security. This system, because it's a cell phone, uploads in real time to the cloud. Video reviews easy, user-friendly, holds a charge, easy to recharge. It has some really good self-activation features on it, man-down alarms on it, easy upload to their evidence-based software. The cons was it's a cell phone camera. And the camera video and audio recordings at night, not as good as Axon. The audio quality was not as good because it's covered by fabric and it's inside a carrier. That wasn't as good. No alerts to other officers when a camera's recording. Probably the biggest part is all of our uniforms have to be retrofitted with their carrier inside to get their to make it fit, right? If you have an outer vest carrier, Sergeant Pearl's got an outer vest carrier on, you only got to do that once. But for officers that don't wear an outer vest carrier, every uniform shirt's got to be retrofitted. They pay for that. They do all that. They take care of all that, but it's still a process. The biggest thing was the audio and video recordings weren't the same quality as Axon. And at night, that made a big difference, right? You can see in the middle, Rigo's got, Officer Bernal's got the Axon camera in the middle of his vest. Axon camera, we have officers that are 6'4" and we have officers that are 5'2". And the Axon camera will allow them to, with the mounts that they have it mounted in wherever it fits best on them, right? So some of our shorter stature officers actually need because of all the equipment we have, not much more fits on their vest or gun belt. So they're able to actually mount it a little bit lower and with the tilt mount actually point it up so they see everybody's face. Taller officers have it right in the middle of their chest. Rigo's got it right in the middle of his chest. He's average height. He sees everybody fine, right? Field of view in the Axon camera is a little bit wider than the cell phone camera because it's an actual camera, not a cell phone. Axon was adaptable to all officers, best overall quality in audio and video. Reminds officers every 2 minutes when it's recording. It pairs to a cell phone or computer for instant review by officers. Their evidence, the back end of their software, their evidence.com, is very simple to use, easy to use. It activates automatically upon squad car activation. So when our squad car lights go on, not only do our squad cameras go on, but our body cameras go on as well. Automatic activation with squad car lights. Automatic activation when a weapon is pulled from holster. Automatic activation when a taser is pulled from holster, right? So all the high liability type incidents, body cameras are automatically activated by the software, right? There's no thought process in it from the officers, which is good because House Bill 3654 makes it a felony if you don't turn your body camera on when you're supposed to. So, the cons of, one of the other good parts of the evidence.com software is that when we're on a call and it's a burglary of some sort and residents have Ring video or they have camera video from their house, we can give them a link and they can automatically upload that video into evidence.com so then we can review it, have it permanently in our evidence and store it and make that part of our case. Very simple, seamless, and able to use that actually pretty effectively. The cons, video only uploads to the cloud upon being returned to a docking station at the police station. So the video only uploads to the cloud for permanent storage when they get back to the station and dock it, right? And then because there's several different mounts, the main mount that we're going to use is actually really secure, pretty secure, but it's still fabric mounted to your vest carrier or your shirt. We had one incident where the body camera came off during a use of force incident, and during that same incident, the officer was kind of just taking the guy to the ground, and if you hold the button for more than 3 seconds, the camera shuts off. Well, he had the bad guy or the suspect up against him, holding him to take him to the ground, and the camera shut off accidentally. But it notifies you when it shuts off, and he recognized the noise and was able to turn it back on pretty quickly. So those are the cons. During this video, I'm showing this video. This is a video from 2 Fridays ago on the Bloomingdale Bridge where we had a complainant drive by the bridge and called 911 and said that there's a subject on the bridge who waved the gun at him or her, whoever the complaint was. This video is about a minute, a little bit over a minute, and we cut this video down so you can see exactly how good the video quality is at night with lights flashing and everything else going on. You can hear the audio very, very well. And the software, you'll see very quickly as we approach the suspect, we blur his face out, right? So you can see the software blurs the face out, and there's a tool in there that we can just hit a button and it follows that face all over the place and blurs it out all over the place. So on FOIAs and other things, we can easily, it doesn't take very long to do. The beeps you're going to hear on this video are not because we're using bad language. There was nothing but professionalism in this incident. There was no bad language. We're beeping out the offender's name so nobody knows who it is, for fairness and protection of the offender. I'm happy to show you later the entire video if you want to hear the audio, but we're blocking out his name and that's it, because I don't want anybody. It's not fair to him for anybody to know who he is. You'll also see how important it is that police departments stay staffed. You're going to see 6 or 7 officers out here, all with different types of less lethal weapons, 2 different less lethal weapons, a riot shield, 2 different lethal weapons, because we had enough officers on scene to do it. If only 2 officers are available to handle this call, it's a completely different type of call, how to handle it. Because you don't have that many people to have the ability to have less lethal weapons out and riot shield, ballistic shields out to help protect everybody on the call, right? So I thank you. I say this a lot, but I thank you for keeping us staffed and allowing us to have people on the street to handle these types of incidents, because 2 people handling this call handles it completely different than 5 or 6. So as we play it, it's just going to play. You'll hear the audio, you'll see the video, and we can talk afterwards. Hold on. What's your name, man? Yep.
Hey, guys, we're gonna approach him, all right? Back off a little bit. Back off a little bit. We go. Hey. Keep your hands out of your pockets, bro.
Put your hands up.
Keep your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Keep your hands up. We got it. Put your hands in the back. I got you, somebody.
You have a hand there.
All right. Hey, all right. I got you, somebody.
Spread your legs.
We're good.
We have him custody. I got him. That's my flashlight.
Mike,
Am I back on? So in that video, again, the beeping was all about just keeping his name out of it. You saw the front officer on the side of the guardrail had taser, right? Guy behind him had a handgun. Girl behind him had rifle. And then you saw a less lethal shotgun out there. And then you saw our canine out there. Canine officer was there. Dog wasn't out. And then Sergeant Pertle was there, and you had ballistic shield. The downside to the body cam, with one person having the body cam, was you saw that the ballistic shield covered the body cam for part of it, right? The good part of the body cam is that when they were handcuffing him, you saw his cell phone on the ground, which is probably what he was showing to the passerby as said that they mistook for a gun, right? The video was up close and personal. Had every person on that call had body cams on, you would have had a great perspective of the entire event, right? And not just one perspective. You see the squad cars, you know, probably 75 to 100 feet behind. That cameras and the squad cars are of no value to us at nighttime with red lights going on to see that incident. And the officers were 100% professional. They were great. They did a phenomenal job. And you saw nothing but calm demeanor throughout the entire incident. There was no raised voices too much. There was no extra anything in that call, and they were very calm through it. That protects everybody. And when we have incidents like this, which, you know, we're going to have more of, crime's not going away. The protection of the citizen, protection of the officers, and protection of the taxpayers is probably the three most important things as we move forward into 2021, 22, and 23. So, what the department, village, and the residents, taxpayers receive for a contract with Axon. 65 of their brand new body 3 cameras, all the docking stations, sidearm, taser, holster activation for cameras, 5-year warranty, and the cameras get replaced every 2.5 years. So 2.5 year mark, we get brand new cameras, whatever the latest version of that new camera is. CAD integration for data, 13 terabyte of storage for body cams, 19 squad car cameras with 5-year warranties, unlimited storage for fleet vehicle cameras. We've added to this 35 tasers. Taser 7s are a brand new taser. We've added 35 tasers to this package because there's no more important time to have less lethal weapons out there than now. And we currently have 10 tasers, which might or might not cover everybody in a shift depending on the shift. So adding 1 for every patrol officer and sergeant will allow us to assign that person a taser, and they'll have it with them wherever they're at. And they're not trading tasers off. Right now we trade tasers off between shifts. This package gets us 35 tasers with a 5-year warranty. The tasers providing the training cartridges for us for all 5 years. That's 70 cartridges. That's $2,800 that we spend every year on training cartridges, right? So that training cartridges for all 5 years, duty cartridges for year 1, docking stations for all the tasers, training target, all the licensing, unlimited storage, live streaming. So we're choosing to have a live stream option for our body cameras. What that means is a supervisor, under certain conditions, will be able to log into the officer's body camera if it's activated and watch in real time what's going on, right? So if we have a foot pursuit officer down, the sergeant can look right into the officer's body camera and try and see where he's at, right? If we have a crime scene and we're outside, we can dial right into the evidence technician's body camera and we can watch the crime scene from outside and not have to be inside the crime scene and contaminate the crime scene, right? Because I'm never not going to want to see a crime scene, right?
Right.
But I don't have to be inside to do it. I can look right through a camera and do it. If we have an in-progress incident, we have a bank robbery, we have a violent domestic with, you know, a known, maybe a shooting in progress, and we have officers that are on the scene immediately, the supervisor can log into the camera and see what's going on in real time and give advice and see what's going on and see what else we need, right? So that's a great feature for us. We get pro-level licensing. We have the top of the line, pretty much everything. The most important reason, though, trust, transparency, and peace of mind. I will sleep better at night, and I think the citizens will sleep better at night, knowing that the encounters that law enforcement has in Glendale Heights is backed up by video and audio. and that they can trust that what we're doing is in the best interest of the community and the best interest of the people that we're talking to at that moment in time. Cost. Nothing is cheap.
Wow.
We're getting in early though, right? And because we're getting in early, we're getting discounts, right? The yearly cost is $114,792. That's the yearly cost for everything that I just said we get. 65 body cams, 19 squad car cams, 35 tasers, and all the software and everything else that goes with it. We have the ability to pay that however we want to pay it over 5 years. We are going to be working, right now, there's a Law Enforcement Training Standards Board's got a reimbursement grant for squad car and body cams. We'll be applying for that to get reimbursed for a percentage of our cost. There's DCO grant that's out there for us, pretty significant one that's out there for us that I'm hopeful will be forthcoming soon, that we can apply towards that. And we have some budgeted funds to put towards this. So that money is, that 567 is what the 5-year number is.
Okay.
If we had money from the grants that we get back and we wanted to pay them 200 this year, we could do that and then spread the cost of the other 4 years or 5 years over that 4-year period and bring our numbers down a little bit, right? So we have a lot of flexibility. We're getting in early, which means we're at the top of the list to get the reimbursement grant because it's Illinois and who knows how long funding is going to be there for. And the DCO grant. I can't stress enough, the cost of this is only going to increase, especially as we get closer to 2025, and the demand for it is more, right? Laws of economic are going to apply. And the closer we get to 2025, the more expensive it's going to be. It just is. Because every department in Illinois is going to have to go to it. Currently, as the law stands today, well, as the law will stand once it's signed. But every department in Illinois is going to have body cameras by 2025. And again, laws of economics are going to apply to it. And the sooner that, I think the sooner that we get into it, the cheaper it's going to be for us in the long run, the better equipment we're going to have, the better deal we're going to have. And, you know, most importantly, residents are going to feel much more comfortable, and we're going to continue to work on building that trust and transparency with all the residents and visitors who come to Glendale Heights. So with that, I have our experts here. If you have questions.
Okay, I got a bunch of them, but
Okay.
I'll let the board go. I'll let the board go first. You got a question?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Chief, after 5 years, you gotta get new ones. What about the old ones? You get credit for them, or it's like buying a car and a used car, you know?
I don't know the answer to that. Do you know the answer, Kelly?
I don't, other than, I assume then we would have to negotiate again after the 5 years, whatever that price would be at that time. I do know that currently, that if you trade in like a taser or things of that kind, that they do give you, a credit. So my guess is it's possible that at that time they would also do the same, but I do not know the exact answer, but it would have to be negotiated at that time.
My next question is, in the wintertime, when you officers have big, heavy leather jackets on, are these cameras retrofitted to fit a leather jacket now?
Nobody wears their leather anymore.
No?
They might wear a coat, but it's left unzipped. The center of our chests are almost always wide open. The coats are pretty restrictive. It's got to get really, 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 really cold for a guy to put a coat on right now because they're so restrictive. We went to a different jacket than the leather jackets to help with that restrictiveness. So the picture I showed you of Rigo earlier, which I'll share with you again if you'd like, he's got a jacket on and he's got his body camera in the middle. And they wear a sweater and their soft jacket over it, and they don't zip it. It just stays wide open in the middle.
What's say the camera's right here? I know it's what's the angle, the wide?
So the field of view,
Yeah.
know the exact size, but I mean, it's trying to capture, it's supposed to capture what you would capture up including, sorry, guys, your peripheral vision. So I don't know the exact, what the dimensions are, but it's supposed to capture what your peripheral as well as what you're seeing straight on.
It's pretty wide.
Is it wide? Look, okay.
Mike, you got a question?
Yes, I do. Obviously, there's no lease programs for anything like this as of yet. I mean, I'm sure that might came around. Service or calibration, do they have to be sent in for calibration at all, or just checkups or anything like that?
No.
And
If they're under warranty, so if anything happens to them, we ship them back, they fix it or ship us a new one and just change it out.
Oh, that was my next question. Do they replace it immediately with something else that you got
Yeah,
something-
it's next day aired.
All right, so that's not so bad. And then, storage for us, as far as the village goes, what's it gonna take to store our end of the video, or is it just all cloud-based?
All in the cloud.
All right. I have more, but go ahead, Pat.
You got any more? Go ahead, if you got more.
No, I'm reevaluating here.
Anybody on the board? Bill?
Yeah, Chief, what happens if a camera is knocked off during a foot pursuit or scuffle, something like that, and you can't find it? Can that camera be deactivated so that it can't be used against you, or located like a cell phone find my iPhone type of function?
Ultimately, that video won't be downloaded to our cloud. And they would be unable to see it because they have to actually Bluetooth into the website. There's a website that it connects to, and that would be the only way that anybody would be able to actually view anything that was on there.
But then can we recover the camera somehow with a locator on it?
There is a GPS connected to that, so yes, in theory, you would. There may be a circumstance where you couldn't, but yes, you should be able to. But if not, the data that's on there is preserved so no one else can see it. However, we would have lost it at that time.
But yeah, there's a GPS in the camera. If the camera's on, we'd be able to locate it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Sharon? No? Okay, well, now I got a couple. The storage, what is that 13 TB?
13 terabytes?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like more than we'll ever use.
Okay, now storage. I was reading something in the paper that, you need some kind of a cabinet for the film?
No, so it's everything from the software side of it's stored in the cloud. Our chargers and the docking stations will be in our equipment room that's in the basement of the police department.
Oh, okay. So that's not gonna cost us anything?
Nope.
Okay, let's see what else. I think Mike covered it, Chester. And maintenance is maintenance free, right? I mean, it
Yep.
doesn't cost us. If it breaks,
They fix it.
They give us a new one to fix it?
And we get new cameras every 2.5 years.
Okay. On that note, I would think that this is something that we have to do anyway. We gotta do it. So,
Oh, yeah.
I concur. If you're asking my opinion.
well, I mean, the way it is today, I mean, I think every police
need it.
department is gonna have to have a body camera.
Yes, by 2025, every department's mandated by statute, as soon as it's signed, to have a camera.
So now,
I'll be 100% transparent, and I've done a complete 180, and there's never more of a need right now, I think, for trust, transparency, and the ability to just have our shifts documented than there is today.
so now when the officer jumps in his car, he automatically turns it on, it stays on all day?
No, it only activates when the officer turns it on physically or if the light bar turns on.
Oh, okay.
But the statute is pretty specific as to when we have to have it activated. So essentially any police encounter that we have, that camera's got to be activated.
Okay. Like I said, I think that we have to do it. Chester?
You see, one of the officers showed me how it snapped in there. You got 3 big snaps in there. That's pretty solid in there. That's hard to knock out, I
That
would
was,
think.
that was the body worn system,
Yeah,
right? So we're not going with that system, we're going with the Axon system.
okay.
Yes, it was very solid in there, and that's one of the major selling points of that, is that you can't knock it off and you'll never lose it. The downside that we had with it was it's a cell phone camera,
Right.
and it didn't record as well as the Axon camera did at night, which is why I kind of showed you that video, because it's pretty good at night, with all the lights going, and the audio is exceptional on that for the body cam. And the audio on the body worn that we found during our, we did a 30-day test on it. The audio was muffled sometimes because it was going through the vest, the outer vest carrier, and was stuck inside the vest carrier, and it's a cell phone. And I like the product a lot. Just the Axon for us works better.
So
You
is
think
it,
the
How does the
governor's,
other one hook on?
The Axon hooks on with mounts, and they have a fabric mount that's friction fit. That's the most rigid one, and it's pretty dang secure. I mean, it takes a lot to knock that off.
Okay.
I see the governor's got, 3 months or something to sign this? But he's getting a lot of pushback. A lot of the officers said he's way out in left field.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother conversation. But
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see some trailer bills come in relation to this bill. Getting rid of body cameras is not going to be one of them, because law enforcement supports body cameras. So you'll see some trailer bills, I think, to work on some language that's within that bill that changes things in a positive way. But I think body cameras by 2025 is here to stay.
Yeah, that's true on that part, but the governor he's way out in left field on other issues. Even Bob Berlin said I was on radio and I listened to that. And he wasn't too enthused about all his, and neither are you.
I'm silent.
yeah, so let's move on. Is this one of the better cameras?
Axon is, I hate to say industry standard, but it's the industry standard. Roselle uses Axon for the last 2 years. West Chicago's on Axon for the last couple of years. We're at a point, Bloomingdale just went to WatchGuard because they got brand new squad car cameras and they couldn't get out of their WatchGuard contract, so they're with WatchGuard. We're at a point with WatchGuard that all of our squad car cameras are on extended warranties. So we don't have any squad car cameras on, regular 5-year warranty payment plan. We own every one of our squad car cameras. So getting rid of our squad car cameras will help maybe offset this a little bit by being able to sell them, because they're still usable. They still work, but they're all 7, 8, 9 years old, and they're on extended warranties. We're gonna be have to replace those in the next year or two anyway.
Okay, good. I just wanted, I don't want to spend the money for some cheap camera.
No.
I mean,
This is I hate to say industry standard because there's a lot of manufacturers out there, but they're tried and true.
Okay. Mike?
Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill?
Yeah, Chief, does that price you quoted us include installation of the squad car cameras, or is that going to be a separate line item?
No, so what that includes is 2 days of training. They come out here for 2 days, and they train an upfitter on how to do it, although our upfitter knows how to do it. But we have another mechanism that we're going to use for the install, which I'll maybe talk about next board meeting. The primary thing that they're out here training for 2 days for is they're going to install three systems completely, and it's for our IT department to be there with them to work on the software side of it and to make sure that we're all on the right systems, that everything's working through our IT department and through all of the uploads and downloads, and that our speeds are right and all that kind of stuff. But no, there won't be any additional cost for the upfitting of the squad cameras.
Thank you.
That's a great question.
Just in complete transparency with the board, there will be an increased amount that we're going to need for our bandwidth in order to be able to handle all of the data that's going back and forth with Axon. So there'll be an upcharge in that. I don't think it's huge.
It's like $5,000, a little bit under.
So it's not a big dollar figure, but just complete transparency with you, that you understand there are additional costs here and there, but not huge.
And our IT department is working with Comcast to expand that bandwidth, and it'll help everybody, quite honestly. It'll make your Wi-Fi faster, it'll make downloads faster, it'll make everything faster.
Okay, is there any other questions?
Not a question. a
Mayor?
comment. I'm just very proud of our police department because these are really bad times and cops have gotten the raw end of the stick for a long time.
Now,
And I'm going back to watching how they are verbally abused. Used to be at Summerfest up until we did that. It takes a special person to be a cop and to deal with that day in and day out. And I'm glad that they are willing to use the body cameras. Glad you jumped in and got prices on them because I really think for everybody's safety. Because the clips you see on social media from people's cell phones, they're never to try and help the police officer that's getting nailed with bricks or
no, it never tells the full
metals or
story.
whatever. It's whatever they did, the little push to the bad guy.
Well, thank
So-
you, and the officers at Glendale Heights know how much the board cares for them and looks out for them, and you guys show it all the time at meetings, and they understand how much you respect them and take pride in our police department, and that doesn't go unsaid by them and by me a lot. So thank you for all your consideration you've done for us for the last several years.
Thank
might-
you for what you
I
guys
might, I
do.
might get myself in trouble if I say this on that.
Be
We
careful.
respect law and order. Mike?
So I just had two things I wanted to add. Chief has been looking at this, as he had said in his presentation, since October. So while House Bill 3653, he had a lot of that information up there. I do want to point out that the chief and his team have been really looking at this hard since September, October, so.
Yeah, I mean, before 3653 was even thought of.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, this just kind of reinforces the need for us to have them.
Yeah, he's at this point in his project, just coincidentally at the same time that bill passed. And I also want to say, Sergeant Pirtle, great job with you and your team on that incident up on the bridge, because that could have been a
Yes.
serious situation. So, nice job.
And I'm
Okay,
glad somebody had a camera.
So I think, help me out here, Mike, but we're asking for the board to move this with a motion to next board meeting to waive first reading, and
Right, so what we would be looking for at the next board meeting, if the board concurs, is to be able to waive bids and accept the proposal from Axon. The police department has done a lot of due diligence in trying to find the best
Yep.
fit for the department, and the best value for the dollars. And especially with the trials that they've done. So we'd like to move to the board for the next board meeting, to waive bids and accept the proposal from Axon, if that's acceptable.
Okay, so
yeah.
what I need a motion to move it to the board, waive the bids for the next board meeting, waive the first reading.
Second, I'll go along with that.
Chester, second. We need a roll call for this?
I think trustee Schmidt's got a question.
Except you can't make the
No,
motion.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
make
didn't
the
make it.
motion, that's all.
Yeah, trustee
you can't
Schmidt's
make
got the motion.
I thought
Okay,
you had the
trust-
motion.
I want to make it.
So I'll take,
I'm all for law. Trustee Smith,
Move that we move it to the board, waive first reading, and approve it at the next board meeting. with the
Second.
recommendation to concur.
We need a roll call?
Yes.
Roll call?
Okay.
Becky, roll call?
Yes, sir. President Jackson,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes,
trustee Sullivan. Oh, you're off.
Sharon, your mic is muted.
She's moving. She's trying.
I know, somebody keeps muting me. Yes.
That was me, Sharon. No.
Trustee Light,
Absolutely, yes.
trustee Schroeder, or Pojek, I'm sorry. Trustee Pojek
Definitely.
and trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for doing all the research.
Thank them.
Okay, now I messed up that last one. Is there any other discussion?
No.
No? Any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call?
President
Yep.
Jackson,
It's gotta be roll call.
President Jackson,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and trustee Pojek.
Yes.
This meeting.
Good meeting, Pat.
This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
These mics are real nice.